Experiment 1. The Stanford Prison Experiment. Let's start with one of the most eye-opening studies of all time, the Stanford Prison Experiment. Picture this. A group of college students, just like you and me, volunteered to take part in a study on the psychological effects of being a guard or a prisoner. Conducted in a mock prison setting, the results were nothing short of chilling. Within days, those assigned as guards began to exhibit sadistic behaviors, while the prisoners displayed extreme emotional distress. This experiment highlights how quickly people can conform to assigned roles, raising profound questions about authority and morality. It's a stark reminder that we all carry the potential for both good and evil, depending on our circumstances. Experiment 2. The Milgram Experiment. Now, let's shift gears to another thought-provoking experiment, the Milgram Experiment. Conducted in the early 1960s, this study sought to understand the lengths to which ordinary people would go to obey authority figures. Participants were instructed to administer electric shocks to a learner whenever they answered questions incorrectly. Even as the learner begged for mercy, many participants continued to shock them, believing they were merely following orders. This shocking revelation about human obedience compels us to consider, how far would we go to comply with authority? It serves as a cautionary tale about the power dynamics at play in our everyday lives, encouraging us to think critically about the voices we choose to follow. Experiment 3. The bystander effect. Have you ever felt overwhelmed in a crowd, unsure of what to do in an emergency? This brings us to the concept of the bystander effect. After the tragic murder of Kitty Genovese in 1964, psychologists Bibb Layden and John Darley studied why individuals failed to help her, even when so many witnesses were present. Their findings revealed a startling truth. The more people there are in a crisis, the less likely any one individual is to intervene. Why? Because they assume someone else will take action. This experiment reminds us of the importance of personal accountability. We must be willing to step up and help others, even in the presence of a crowd. Experiment 4. The Little Albert Experiment. Next, let's dive into the controversial Little Albert Experiment. Conducted by John B. Watson and Rosalie Rayner in 1920, this study aimed to demonstrate that fears could be conditioned. A baby named Albert was exposed to a white rat, and through repeated associations with loud, frightening sounds, he began to cry at the sight of the rat alone. This experiment opened the door to understanding phobias, illustrating how our emotions can be shaped by past experiences. It serves as a powerful reminder of the significance of our emotional conditioning and the impact it has on our lives. Experiment 5. The Asch Conformity Experiments. Now, let's talk about the Asch Conformity Experiments. In the 1950s, Solomon Asch conducted a series of tests to investigate the power of group pressure. Participants were asked to identify which of 3 lines matched a given length, but unbeknownst to them, the group was filled with Confederates who purposely gave incorrect answers. Astonishingly, many individuals conformed to the group's wrong answer, showcasing the intense desire to fit in and avoid standing out. This experiment highlights the struggle between individuality and conformity that many of us face daily, challenging us to hold firm to our beliefs even in the face of social pressure. Experiment 6. The Marshmallow Test. Let's sprinkle in some sweetness with the Marshmallow Test. In the late 1960s, Walter Mischel's study presented preschoolers with a tempting choice: eat 1 marshmallow immediately or wait 15 minutes and receive a second one. Those who could resist the immediate reward tended to have better life outcomes later on, including higher SAT scores and better coping skills. This experiment illuminates the importance of self-control and delayed gratification, a valuable lesson in our fast-paced world where instant gratification is often just a click away. Experiment 7. The Placebo Effect. Have you ever wondered how powerful your mind can be? The placebo effect is a perfect illustration of this phenomenon. When patients are given a placebo and inactive treatment, many experience real improvements in their symptoms simply because they believe they are receiving treatment. This remarkable effect highlights the connection between our beliefs and our physical health, encouraging us to harness the power of positive thinking in our own lives. Experiment 8. The Halo Effect. Now, let's explore the halo effect, a fascinating cognitive bias. This phenomenon occurs when our overall impression of a person influences how we feel about their specific traits. For example, if we find someone attractive, we might also assume they are kind, intelligent, or capable, regardless of evidence to the contrary. The halo effect not only impacts our personal relationships, but also plays a significant role in hiring practices, marketing, and even jury decisions. Being aware of this bias can help us make more objective judgments about others and ourselves. Experiment 9. The Robber's Cave Experiment. Shifting gears, we have the Robber's Cave Experiment, which sheds light on intergroup conflict. In the 1950s, researchers divided boys at a summer camp into two groups. Initially, the groups engaged in competitive activities, leading to hostility and aggression. However, when they were later forced to work together to achieve common goals, the animosity diminished. This study underscores the potential for cooperation to foster understanding and unity among diverse groups, a lesson that remains relevant in today's polarized world. Experiment 10. The Invisible Gorilla. Finally, let's wrap up with a classic, the Invisible Gorilla Experiment. In this study, participants were asked to count how many basketball passes were made by a team in white shirts. As they focused on the task, nearly half of them failed to notice a person in a gorilla suit walking through the scene. This experiment is a powerful reminder of our cognitive limitations and how easily we can miss what's right in front of us. It encourages us to practice mindfulness and be more present in our everyday lives. And there you have it, 10 intriguing psychology experiments that not only entertain but also provoke deep reflections about our behaviors and beliefs. Each of these studies opens a window into the complexities of the human mind, encouraging us to think critically about our actions and the world around us. As we wrap up, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which experiment resonated with you the most? Have you ever found yourself in a situation influenced by group pressure or cognitive biases? Share your experiences in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more psychology life hacks that empower your daily life. Remember, understanding ourselves is the first step toward growth. Thank you for joining me today, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.